Let's now take a look at intruding with the intruder. Okay, so you can go here in the intruder, so just click on the intruder. Okay, so the Burp intruder allows a tester to brute force or fuse specific portions of an HTTP message using customized payloads. So to properly set up a customized attacks or an attack in intruder, a tester will need to use the settings available in the four subtabs of the intruder. Okay, so as you can see, we have four subtabs. We have the target, positions, payloads, and options tab. Okay, so a tester may wish to fuse or brute force parameter values or parameters within a message, and Burp intruder is this process by providing various intruder attack styles, the payload and in the payload options. Okay, so we can now go back in our Firefox browser. So in our Firefox browser, let me show you. So in our Firefox browser, we are going to attempt to log into the application of in the material. Okay, so what we are going to do here, we are going to go inside login. So where is login? So we have login and register. Okay, so let's click on login. As you can see here, we are going to attempt to log in. Okay, so we are going to provide the name. As you can see here, we have the name. We can provide the name. So our name, let us provide admin, and let us provide the password as password. Okay, password, like that. Okay, like that. Then we are going to attempt to log in. Okay, so when we try to log in, right now here, so we should set, let us set the intercept to be on. So in the Burp, so let us go back in the Burp. Okay, so we are going to go into the target, then let's go into the target, then in the proxy, and let's go into the target, then where is it? Okay, so intruder, we have let me show you something. Proxy, we go back to the intercept. Okay, so we make sure that the intercept is on. Okay, so let us the intercept to be on. Okay, but before, let us set it to be off, like that. Okay, and let us go back in Firefox. Let's go back in Firefox and we try to log in. Okay, so let us log in. Okay, let us log in. So when we try to log in, let us not save, not now, like that. And then what we are going to do, we are going to find the login attempt in the proxy slash HTTP history tab. So let's go in Burpsuite. Let's go inside Burpsuite. So we are going to go in the proxy, then HTTP history tab. So here we are going to let me view. Okay, so we are going to go down here and we take a look at our last like the request. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a login .php. This one here, it's the one that we need. Okay, so we can find the login attempt in the proxy HTTP history tab, and your request number, as you can see. So this request number, this one here might be different, okay, from the one that I'm having. Okay, and we can select the message that captured your or our attempt to log in. Okay, right here. So as you can see right here, so when we select that one and then we go down here. Okay, so make sure you have selected it. So as the login attempt message here, after highlighting it in the HTTP history table, so we can go back in the message editor, and then under the request, as you can see here, we can select our password right here. Okay, but before we select that one, let us send it to the intruder, because we are using the intruder. Okay, so let us right click, and we can send to the intruder. So let us send it to the intruder. Okay, so send to the intruder. So the intruder is being highlighted, as you can see. So let us go in the intruder tab. Okay, so in the intruder, we have under the target, the intruder target tab defines your targeted web application, okay, and these settings are pre-populated for you by Burp, as you can see. So this is our host URL, as you can see, and the port is int, like that, okay, and we can leave out use HTTPS, like that, okay. Then we have the positions tab. The positions tab identifies where the payload makers or markers, the payload markers, are to be defined within the payload slash payload then positions, okay, the payload positions section, okay. And for our purpose, we can click on clear here, on clear. Let me show you here on clear here right now, okay. We can click on clear, which is a payload which is a payload marker. We can click clear to clear all. As you can see, they have all been cleared, okay. So there is nothing that is highlighted, as you can see, okay. So we can manually select the password field by highlighting it with our cursor. So here, as you can see, the password, so we can select. So let us select only this password here. So let us select it like that. Then after selecting it, we can click the add button. So after selecting it, make sure you have selected it, okay. I want you to view, okay. So after selecting it, we can click this add button right there. So after clicking it, you can see, okay. So after clicking it, you can see now we have the payload markers wrapped around the password field, okay, as you can see there, okay, right there, okay. So from there we have let us go. We have the payloads tab. So after the positions tab is the payload tab, okay. The payloads tab identifies word lists of values or numbers you wish to be inserted into the positions you identified on the previous tab, okay. And there are several sections within the payloads tab, including payload. We have the payload set, we have the payload options, we have when we scroll down, we have payload processing, we have another one which is the payload encoding, as you can see right there, okay. So let us now take a look at the payload set, okay. So the payload set allows for the setting of the number of payloads as well as the type, okay. And for our purpose, we will use the default settings for sniper, allowing us to use one payload with a payload type of the simple list, okay. So as you can see here, we're using a payload set 1, and here we're using a simple list right there, okay. Okay, so let us now take a look at the payload options, okay, the payload options. And the payload options sections, a tester can configure a custom payload or load a pre-configured one from a file, okay. And for our purpose, we will add one value to our payload, okay. And in the text box right here, we can type admin, okay, right here, not here. We can type admin right there, okay. We can type admin, and from there we can click the add button to create our custom payload, okay. So we can click add like that. So it has been added, as you can see right there, okay. So we have another section which is the payload processing, okay. So payload processing is useful when configuring special rules to be used while intruder substitutes payloads into payload markers positions, okay. And for this part, we don't need any special payload processing rules, okay. So we shall go to the next one, okay. We shall leave the payload processing, and then we go to let me try to show you, okay. And then we are going to go to payload encoding, okay. So payload encoding is applied to here, this one. Payload encoding is applied to the payload value prior to sending the request to the web server, and many web servers may broker offensive payloads, okay. So for example, the ones that contain the script, okay, the angle brackets, this one. Let me show you. Notepad. Let me open Notepad so that I can type and show you. So for example, this one here, script, script. Okay, so it could search tags. Okay, so I think you get it. So search tags which look like that. Okay, like that. So the encoding feature is a means to circumvent any blacklist blocking. Okay, so let us leave this one. Okay, so from there we are going to go with the default. As you can see, we can go with the default ones. Okay, so let us take a look at the options tab. Okay, so finally the intruder in the options tab provides attack table customizations. Okay, and particularly these ones are related to responses captured, such as the specific error messages. Okay, and there are several sections within this options tab. Okay, and we have the request headers, have the request engine, we have the attack results. As you can see here, have the attack results, we have the grep match, we have the another one. Let me show you another one. We have the grape extract. Okay, as you can see there, we have another one which is the grape payloads, and we have the last one which is redirections. Okay, we are going to take a look at all of them. So let us take a look at the request headers. Okay, so request headers offers configurations specific to header parameters while intruder is running attacks. Okay, so for the purpose of this part, we can leave the default boxes checked. As you can see, these ones as they are, like that. Okay, and let us take a look at the request engine. Okay, so the request engine should be modified if a tester wishes to create less noise on the network while running intruder. For example, a tester can throttle attack requests using variable timings, so they seem more random to network devices. Okay, and this is also the location for lowering the number of threads intruder will run against the target application. Okay, so for those who know more programming, who know network programming, understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we can leave the default, so we can have the number of threads. We can try to modify them. Okay, as you can see, we can try to modify them. Then here we can have start time immediately. We want it to start immediately, and as you can see, the steps you can have. Then the pause, as you can see, pause before retry. This 2000 means 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. We are counting in milliseconds. Okay, so this one is 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds, and as you can see, we have number of retries on network failure. We can have 3, and here number of threads we have 1. Okay, like that. Okay, so from there we can go to the attack results section. Okay, so after starting the attack, intruder creates an attack table. Okay, and the attack results sections offers some settings around what is captured within the table. Okay, so for the purpose of this part, we can leave the default settings as they are. Okay, we can leave them, and then let us go to the grep match. Okay, so grep match is a highly useful feature that is, when enabled, creates additional columns in the attack table results to quickly identify errors, exceptions, or even a custom string within the response. Okay, so for this purpose, we can leave everything as they are. Okay, so let us go to the grep extract. Okay, so grep extract, when enabled, is another option for adding a column in the table, in the attack table. Okay, and whose label is specific to a string found in the response. Okay, so this option differs from the grep match, since grep extract values are taken from an actual HTTP response as opposed to an arbitrary string. Okay, so for this purpose we can leave everything as they are. Okay, so let us go to grep payloads. Okay, Let's go to grep payloads. So grep payloads provides a tester the ability to add columns in the attack table in which responses contain reflections of the payloads. Okay, so for this part we can leave everything as they are. So let us go to redirections. Okay, so redirections instructs intruder to never or condition to never conditionally or always follow redirections. Okay, so this feature is very useful, particularly when brute forcing logins, and since a 302 redirect is generally an indication of entry. Okay, and for this purpose we can leave everything as they are, like that. Okay, so let us now take a look at this button right here. So let us go back. Okay, so when you scroll to the top, okay, we can see this start attack button. So finally we are ready to start the intruder, and on either the payloads or the options tab we can click the start attack button, okay, to begin. Okay, so from there we can click. Okay, so let us click start attack. So when we click we get this version blah 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 blah. So let us click OK. So after clicking OK, the attack is going to start. Okay, so as you can see we have this one, we have admin. So here as you can see we have the status. So when the attack has started, an attack results table is going to appear, as you can see here. Okay, result table, as you can see it has appeared, and this allows the tester to review all requests using the payloads within the payload marker positions. Okay, so it also allows us to review all our responses and columns showing the status. As you can see here we have the status, error, we have timeout, we have length, we have comment, like that. So for the purpose of this part, we note that the payload of admin in the password parameter, produced a status code of 302. Okay, which is a redirect. Okay, and this means we logged into the Matilda application successfully. Okay, so as you can see it's right here. Okay, so when we try to click it, to click it, and then we look at a response, and then render here within the attack table here. Within the attack table allows us to see how the web application responded to our payload. Okay, as you can see we are successfully logged in. Okay, so when we scroll, let us scroll, and then oh no, let me go back to our attack table, and then I try to increase. Okay, I try to increase. As you can see we have logged in as admins. Okay, so as you can see we have logged in admin. Okay, as you can see a lot, we have successfully logged in. Okay, so that is it. So I think this part has helped you, and if it has done so, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and like the video, and please share it. Okay, so thank you so much for subscribing, liking the video, and sharing. Don't forget to comment about this part. Okay, it has been an interesting part. Please don't forget to comment. Okay, thank you.